Okay, we're going to create this swivel bracket. It is in a metric file, so use a metric template. I'm going to start in AutoCAD, delete this, just practicing. And I'm going to talk through this over the next couple weeks. We'll have in and out some CAD work to do, so there may be some videos to go along with that. But to get the swivel started, you are going to have to zoom out after you draw your first line. But I think an easy way, well, let's draw the first line. It's 81 long. So let's draw a line. I have ortho mode on, and let's see what snap settings I'm going to use. That should be good. And I also have object snap tracking on, which is somewhat helpful, especially if I'm using polar tracking. Not right now, so I may not use it. Anyway, first one's going to be 81 long. And then zoom out to see it. And then one thing I like to do, especially when I'm doing a video, to pull this file down. I did put this in a new window. You can do that by holding Control, clicking on the link, download it, and if you just download it, when it goes into this bar down here, after it actually downloads, just drag it right onto your AutoCAD icon and just let it go in space here. And then I can see how big my first view is going to be. So I'm just going to set this next to it. And then I can zoom out and I can scale the window if I want. I want it kind of relatively small, so something like that will probably work. And I'll just click and then hit enter for the rotation, and it'll pop that into your AutoCAD screen. You can move this around if you need to. So I'm going to move it over a little bit while I'm drawing, but I'll leave it here so I can reference right on screen. Sorry, I'm at home. I talk soft when I'm at home. I'll try to speak up. So we did an 81 line. We need to go up by 11, make a little rectangle here, and then we'll move on. So I'm just going to offset by 11, and then I'll draw lines. And then I'm going to offset again to get my total height of 62. I'm going to again to get my center line positions now before I draw anything else. So I've got 19 from the back, then 30, and then for my last hole I have 100 millimeters. So offsetting 19, enter twice, then 30, enter twice, and then 100. So all those are going to become center lines. So I'm going to use match properties, AT, click a center line, and those are my hole positions, left and right. I got a diameter, 3 of them that are at 11, but before I do that, I do want to get my position up top. So we have the, let's see, we have this line that just needs to be brought over a little bit, so I'll just drag it. And then I can stretch this one up as well. And then we've got some more 11 millimeter offsets. So offsetting by 11. And then center line position is just up here, so I can just move this. And then I've got a couple of circles I can put in now. So circle with a diameter, D key of 11. And those get copied to these different positions. Oh, my computer froze. All right, we're back. Copy. I'll draw another circle for this radius of 14. And I can draw this line. And then I can either use trim or I like to use chamfer, so I'm going to use chamfer to make some corners. So CF. And if you hold shift, that works, and also if you just click it, it should work as well. I'm going to do it again, this time hit multiple, and go around and make some corners. Now I'm going to jump into my next view. We do not show an edge here because it's smooth, and then this goes into a tangent curve, and then it goes into a fillet. And when it's filleted like this, we don't show an edge at the fillet. So that would be done. The whole view is not finished yet. We'll get to fillets at the end, but for now we're finished with that. So I'm going to move up to a top view. I'm just going to draw random lines. I'm going to draw lines up to kind of a random height. Get some projection lines in. And then I'm going to just draw a random line across. That's going to become my center line for the holes. And now I'm just going to move all my holes, or all my circles, to that center line. Okay, now I can offset this center by the 29. That goes both ways. And then this becomes just a regular line. Make sure to bring it all the way back to this line because it goes this distance. And I'll use match properties again to turn these to white lines or object lines. And then I'm going to use chamfer again to go around and make some hard corners. So right here we can use a new command called break, BR. And what that's going to allow me to do is break this line from here to any spot I pick. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to keep the line, but I want to make one part of it visible and one part of it hidden. So this part that goes underneath, I'm going to extend and use match properties to turn it to hidden. And then I'll extend these. So we're not ready for fillets yet, but we can do our right side view. Oh crud. I made this as the right side view as my front view, but it's an easy fix, so we'll fix that together. So this is now the right side view, and we'll just draw a random 45-degree line, maybe over here, that somewhere in this zone. And switch over to polar tracking and to 45 degrees, and we'll snap to 45 right here. And then we'll just go up and over. So that'll become the nose of my part. So I want this nose to come around and hit on this line. So an easy way to do that would be to highlight my entire view using a blue rectangle, and then use rotate. And I'm going to rotate right off the 45 line where I want the nose to hit down on this line. And then I'll just rotate 90 degrees. And then I can move this wherever I want so that my next view's projection lines kind of get a little farther away from this. So I'm just going to move it. And I'm just going to choose a random distance. And now I'm set up to do the next view. So now I can project, and we'll get what is supposed to be the front view. Sorry about that. I'm actually going to, just because I hate any drawing near the origin, I'm going to take everything and move it. And now I can project and create this other view. Actually, I'll show you an even simpler way to do that. So we haven't used this command yet. It's called stretch. And the way it works is you can stretch the ends of lines. So I'm going to stretch the ends of this line. I'm going to hold shift and deselect this one because I don't want to stretch that. And then I'll just pick randomly. Try that again. Stretch is S. Deselect both that I know that's going to cover as a projection line. I can do the same thing here. Okay, so we're going to have a fillet that comes in here at a radius of 11. This line is going to come down and fillet over to this line. So I can just do a fillet right now, and I can type my radius 11, click this line, and then click this horizontal line. But it's trimming everything away, so I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to just hit escape, fillet again, this time hit radius 11, hit enter, and then hit T for trim. And I'm going to switch it to no trim. And then go back and do it again. So we'll get the radius of 11 here. And then we'll do another one right here. And then we can extend these lines. Now I can use chamfer and go around and do some trimming. Or make some corners again. Oops, that did not work. Try this again. Chamfer, multiple, line to line. There we go. So I notice I'm having to hold shift now. Oh, I just got rid of that line. Oops. Oh well. And I'll do the same thing here. So I'm going to use trim actually instead. Redraw. And then I can copy this hole over. If I use this center line and extend it, that helps a little bit. And then I can just copy these center lines using any part of my green line as a base point. And then same thing with this one. And I can just copy right to the midpoint. So we're almost done. We've got to add our fillets. So the fillets are going to look like this in this part. You can see the filleted area has this little curve everywhere. So we're going to fillet all over the base and then the underside of this U shape. So I'm going to throw the fillets on. I want you to just copy. We're going to continue with the setting of no trim and then trim at the end. So it'll look like this. Fillet, radius, and our radius is fillets and rounds, radius of 3. So I'm going to type 3. And then we're going to do multiple. And I'm going to go around and do a whole lot of fillets. So we have one coming in right here. Another one on the other side. One here underneath. That's all you will see in this view. See one here and one at the back. Then on the back side of the neck as it comes up. Then on the underside of the neck, here and here. In this view, we fillet here, all 4 of these corners. Then the neck on the underside as well. And now we're going to go around and trim. So there's just a couple things here that we have to adjust. One, this fillet needs to be hidden. And then no more fillets are going to show us hidden, but we're going to talk about what lines to keep, what lines to get rid of. So if there is a section of flat surface, so for example, the base is flat, and so in this view, we'll continue to see this line because the surface exists for this length. Okay, so we're showing that line continue. Even though it's filleted and everything's tangent, this line stays to show that this entire surface is here and it's flat and it shows up as an edge from those 2 views. Now, we've got to check to see if we keep this section of the line or not. So what we're looking for is any flat length of line here, so between the curves. So we do have it. We have a little bit of flat distance, so we will actually show the edge. So when I said we wouldn't in the beginning, I was wrong. There's a little flat section, so we need to continue to show this line. So as far as geometry goes, this part is done, so I'm going to trim things up. Probably actually just delete lines. So these all can actually go. I want to keep this line just to show that I used some projection there. If we use projection. In this case, we actually never projected over the 45. And as you guys continue, you'll probably do it less and less. In future videos, I'm going to show another way to do all this without ever doing a 45, but still being able to project view to view. So here's how we finish this up. We're going to use a centerline offset of, I think 5 is a good one. So I'm going to just offset everywhere I have a centerline by 5. So offsetting the edges of the object up and down. These lines will go away. Just using them right now to extend my center lines to them on the circle. We need to do that, and this circle as well. Okay, and this one as well. So that's going to get a little confusing. Just pay attention as I trim that one up. Then we need to add center lines here. Use match properties right away, and then I will copy this so I have horizontal center lines at the centers of every circle when needed. Now I don't need a center line here. I've seen a lot of people do that. That's not right. You just show the axis of the hole. Now we're going to go around and extend and trim where necessary. I'll extend first. So this one I'm going to extend the horizontal all the way out. And then I'm ready to extend this. And actually, since this goes, we're holding alignment through everything, I'm going to get rid of this center line. and just run one center line continuous, because they do line up. I'll do the same in this view. Whoops. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of any circles I used to extend. Maybe these two. And and the lines. I'm going to save because I have not saved. This is 11-36, I think. Oh, let's check. It's right here. 11-34 swivel. Make sure you save that in your drive. You're not going to see my drive today because I'm at home. Okay, and then now we're going to move on in the next video to dimensioning. So just one video for now, but this part will continue next time we can't get into the shop. So there will be a part 2, dimension, and also setup for printing. So thank you. Enjoy your day.